Hello, Rachel. I'm so sorry that I can't be there today to share your final HHJS day with you. But I thought this was the next best thing. I'm going to send you a little message through YouTube, hopefully. But congratulations on making it to your final day. I know it must have been pretty tough to get to this point. I remember it very well. It's quite a surreal feeling. But I couldn't let the day pass without commemorating you and your time at Hampton Hill in some sort of way. I do have to apologise. I've got a bit of a sore eye going on. I managed to have a bit of a contact lens incident. Um, so, but we can just say that it looks like I'm crying out of one eye because obviously I'm sad. I'm very sad that you're leaving. Anyway. A few things I wanted to share with you on your final day, just as I guess you did with me. Um, I remember vividly the first time I met you, and I know you remember it as well because I have told you this story many times. It was in late 2011 when I decided that I wanted to get into teaching, and I came and did some experience at Hampton Hill with Mandy's class. And I met you in the corridor, the Year 4 corridor. You walked past me. I think I said hello to you, and I got like a little hello back. And my first thought was rude. She's a bit rude. And I think that was all the conversation we had during my week or two at Hampton Hill. However, I then was extremely lucky to become your student when I did my teacher training at St Mary's. I know you did a bit of Facebook stalking to find out who I was, basically to check out whether A, I was straight, and B, I was hot. I don't think I'm either, sadly. But I was perhaps the luckiest guy, at least the luckiest trainee teacher to be able to say that you were my class teacher mentor. And I knew we were going to get along really well because I think it was that first day we ended up talking about films that we liked, and we pretty much shared the same choices of films. And you even said that you loved Amelie and that you could play the theme tune to Amelie, which I was really amazed about. I've since heard you play that theme tune, and perhaps a little less amazed, but still very impressive. And I also remember vividly on our first day, or my first day, something that I think was later to become a bit of a theme in our friendship. On that first day, you asked me to call your mobile phone because, yeah, you'd lost it somewhere. I think it turned out to be in Sainsbury's or Tesco's, in Tesco's. But that definitely became a bit of a thing, I think, for Rachel, losing something. But I might come on to that later. So I can easily say that through your guidance and by watching you teach, I definitely grew as a teacher, and I'm so lucky to have had you as my mentor, because you are just an astounding teacher. You are one of the greatest, and you're going to be a major loss to Hampton Hill. You were very inspiring in everything that you did, and most of all, I think you gave me the freedom and the confidence to try anything, to give anything a go, and I did, and I felt comfortable in doing it, and I felt like I had your support in doing it as well. And basically, I felt just as every student you have taught has felt. They felt comfortable and they have felt loved and cared for under your teaching. So thank you very much on my behalf, but also thank you on the behalf of every student that you've taught, because I know how they have felt, and it's a pretty awesome feeling. So well done, and thank you very much. Another memory I've got of you, particularly as a student teacher, was when, well, you'd let me know that you were pregnant, and I think it was perhaps out in the school then that you were pregnant, and I had to cover you one afternoon for you to go and have a scan, and you gave me, I guess, pretty easy work to do. I think it was reading a book or something with them and discussing this book. But at the end of the day, you wanted me, without a doubt, to hand out some of these paper mache bugs that the class had made, and they'd made them one between two, or one between three even maybe. But you wanted these bugs out of the classroom because they were big and they were taking up a lot of space. And when I got to it, I couldn't do it because it meant that I had to choose. I remember asking you, I remember telling you, so who gets to take them? If they've made them one between two, who gets to take it home? And you were just like, oh, you decide, just give it to one of them. And I couldn't decide. I thought that was, I thought it was heartbreaking that I had to choose between two pupils to take home these bugs. So I pretended to forget, and well, I left it for a job for you to do. I also vividly remember, as part of your guidance to me, you told me I needed to be a bit more firm with the children, particularly when they were talking, or in order to try and get the pace of the lessons going a bit faster. So I did as you said, and I was a bit more firm with them. I think that next day I ended up making Sasha cry. Do you remember that? She was obviously the loveliest and most kindest and sweetest girl in the classroom. And she didn't give me an answer fast enough or something like that, and so I was like, come on, give me an answer, until she cried. So thank you for your guidance there. But it was a funny story. So I spent a few weeks with you, and eventually managed to get my job at Hampton Hill. Obviously, no doubt, all down to you and your expertise. So thank you very much for that. And then you went and had the wonderful and beautiful Sophie, and you know what? I was a little bit sad and a little bit gutted that I wasn't going to spend my first year at Hampton Hill with you. I'd had such a good time as a student teacher with you that I really wanted to then be in your year group and spend a year with you. But as I'm sure you'll remember, "I'm having a baby" was a quote that I heard regularly from you. And you did go off and have Sophie. But Sophie is wonderful and amazing, and I absolutely love her. And she's coming up in one of my memories as well. Eventually, though, you did come back to Hampton Hill, and you joined me down in year 5. And eventually, we ended up with, I think, perhaps just the most supreme and best team of teachers ever. You, Trudy, and Cheryl, and me, and it was just such an amazing team. I absolutely loved it. My couple of years with you guys was fantastic. When I first heard that you and Trudy were going to be together, did make me laugh a little bit, because I know you, and I know how messy and perhaps unorganised at times you can be, and then I know Trudy, who is just the complete opposite, absolutely organised down to the nth degree. But wow, you both worked at such an amazing team, and your classes were so lucky to have you both as teachers. School was absolutely great when you were there. I had such a laugh. You always managed to put a smile on my face no matter what. And I know I probably didn't always do the same to you. I used to wind you up a lot. Used to make me mad sometimes. But ultimately, I think we did have a really good time together. And they're just some of the best memories I'll ever have of Hampton Hill. To come up with some other memories of you was quite easy, really. We've had many good times together and lots of good laughs. So I'll just share a few with you now. The first one was, "I'm having a baby," which you always use whenever I needed to carry a bag for you, or that you couldn't come somewhere or couldn't go out somewhere. That was usually your excuse at the time, which has definitely stuck, and I love it. Our countless games nights. Wow. As you know, I am a little bit of a dweeb, and I do love the odd board game. But I managed to inspire you a little bit with my board games, and we made quite a regular thing of it. So obviously there's the Berg, which I loved playing with you, and also led to, what's this one do again? Another regular question that you would ask, no matter how many times we would play it, you would always ask the same questions, usually about the same tiles as well. Also the Smelly Cup, I thought I would throw that one in there because that was always quite a laugh, and it means perhaps a fun conversation for you to have later to anybody who's hearing this. And also all the music we used to play as well. We had a great playlist of music that we used to play when we were playing any game. Also at our games nights we used to have some usually pretty tasty takeaways. Tintin's being a favourite, that crispy duck, always the best. But it was usually followed on, particularly if we're at your house, by one of your specialities, which is your cup of tea. Now, we all know that Rachel loves a cup of tea, but not many of us know that Rachel cannot make a cup of tea. Her tea is shit. The tea bag barely touches the water before it's taken out again, and the milk's thrown in, and you're just left with this like milky hot mess. But you know what? I still love your tea, and I'll still drink it, and I miss your tea. If you want to come and make one, please do. Along with tea, I should also say about spinning drinks. Wow, there was definitely a period of about 3-4 years where no matter whenever I came to your place, you would spill a drink. You would knock one over. You would kick a drink. There would just be a drink spilt at some point, to the point where even when Tom, your husband, was there, he would see you kick a drink and he would not react because it was such a normality. It was like everyday life was just you spilling a drink. But you spilling drinks has certainly made me laugh countless times over the years, so thank you very much. You may remember me babysitting Sophie. That one time I think I babysat her, but we had an awesome night together. We sent you lots of selfies. Sophie is amazing. I absolutely love her, and I really, really miss her. And of course I miss George too. And it's a shame that I don't get to share perhaps the same experiences with George that I have done with Sophie in the past. But you've got two fantastic kids there, and I can't wait to continue to watch them grow up, because I know, like, wow, you're just such an awesome mother, and Tom is an awesome father as well. So you're amazing parents, and you're going to do such a good job at raising those two children. Back to funny memories. Leaving your purse in Herman's the German. Do you remember that? And then you had to go back to Herman's the German and find it. Leaving your purse in Sainsbury's. Leaving your purse in Tesco's. And leaving your purse, well, pretty much anywhere. If it wasn't your purse, it would be your phone. There was always something left behind, or perhaps even your keys, maybe at times. But you did a great job at leaving your belongings wherever you went. It was a bit like Hansel and Gretel. There was always like a little trail of breadcrumbs, but it was a trail of Rachel's belongings, so everybody knew where you'd been. And another memory I've got of you leaving something somewhere. You asked to borrow Tom's Oyster card, and it was like a I don't know, some posher Oyster card. And I was there when he told you, do not lose it. You even asked me to make sure you didn't lose it. And then what did you do? You lost it. Of course you did. But funny memories. Other memories I've got. Watching scary films and TV with you, and how easy it was to wind you up, just so that, like, literally a little noise or me like touching you on the leg or something like that would be enough to absolutely get you shit scared. And if it wasn't watching a film or a TV program, it was actually me jumping out on you. Very, very easily done. And man, I miss it now. I really miss it. It wasn't me going to an escape room with you, your first escape room. And I think it was within 5 seconds of being in that escape room that the guy leading the escape room actually shouted to the blonde girl in there to calm down because he thought you were going to go and break stuff. You went in there like a bull in a china shop and just like, turning everything over and potentially going to break something, but I'm sure you wouldn't have. Other memories, geocaching with you for 3 days in Dorset, which I absolutely loved. That was amazing. Going to countless pub quizzes with you, and pretty much every time coming last. Our only best bet of coming home with a bottle of wine was to get the funniest name. Going to Bacchus with you, and you requesting lots of Linkin Park, to the point where eventually when a Linkin Park song came on, you would tell everybody on the dance floor that you had requested it. Going to churches with you at the Royal Albert Hall, that was amazing. Obviously the Foo Fighters a couple of years ago was just phenomenal, and such an amazing experience, one that I shall never forget, and perhaps even more so the Linkin Park concert at the O2, just a couple of weeks obviously before he passed away. But that was, wow, that was just, that is the best concert I've ever been to. I can't see it being topped, to be honest. So thank you very much for letting me share those experiences with you. They're just amazing and experiences that I will never ever forget. So perhaps to finalise things, I'm very, very grateful to Hampton Hill for letting us meet, and without having worked there or been there as a student, I would never have met you, and I'd never have met my best friend. I don't think I will ever have a best friend like you, no matter where I am in the world or where you are in the world. I know that you are still my best friend, and that we will continue to share such amazing events and memories together, and I love that. Absolutely love it. You are one of a kind. You are one of the best teachers I have ever known. Obviously been fortunate to be taught by you to teach is that's wonderful. You're beautiful. You're selfless, absolutely selfless. You always think about other people before yourself, and I think perhaps now is the time that you need to start thinking about you and looking after yourself and looking after your wonderful family as well. Rachel, congratulations on all of your time at Hampton Hill. You will be sorely missed, and you know just how much I miss you. But here's to many more memories, and here's to your future in teaching or whatever it is that you go on to do. So well done, congratulations, and I love you lots. Take care. Bye bye.